Welcome back to the show. Well, check out these headlines. The New York Federal Reserve mines Bitcoin. Largest XRP ETP? We got it because it's taken off like a rocket. XRP breaks the rising trend. And what is the real definition of discipline? We're going to get it all today. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.34 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 3.7%. Everything currently falling like a manhole cover from the sky. Bitcoin, 59,900 plus. What's going on here? 3,200 plus for Ethereum, Tether market cap 112 billion plus, and we see USDC sitting at 32.4 billion plus, XRP at 47 cents, off by 2.7 into 24, sitting flat on the 7-day. Where will the real USD sit on this chart? And when will it launch? MiCA regulations are in place. Let's go, Ripple. We're ready to see it. Ranging between 47 and 49 cents. This is where we are today, and I tell you, you're going to love the definition we have for discipline today. I tell you, there's no finer definition than the one you're going to get today. And it is a real disciplined person to be in this market and look at a 47 cent and buy more XRP like I just did. Hey, hold on a minute. Mrs. Backup, can you hear me? No. Okay, good. Never mind. So anyway, I just yelled in the other room because Mrs. Backup's home today, and it is very real if she finds out that I bought more XRP, and she gets really pissed off for about a half hour. Don't say anything. Anyway, let's get to this. I'm sorry? I would never. Yeah. Okay. You kind of heard it? All right, I'm recording. We'll talk later. Be gentle. It's not a game, ladies and gentlemen. That is a real situation around this house when Bradley starts buying more crypto. Not financial advice. Ripple reference Judge Berman, not marital advice either. Ripple reference Judge Berman's recent opinion on secondary market sales. In the Binance case, Ripple argues that its opinion is pertinent to its opposition to the SEC's motion for remedies in the ongoing lawsuit, meaning Ripple submitted to Judge Torres in their own case that that Judge Torres' decision was cited in the Binance case and saying, hey, Judge, look here. There's another judge agrees with what your ruling is. We just thought you should know that while you're in the middle of making this ruling in the remedies phase against the SEC. Well, I tell you, you know who's pissed about that ruling becoming legal precedent? Charles Gasparino. Charles Gasbag Barino. That's right. You know, the guy who's bought and paid for. That guy's a bought and paid for guy. There's no question about it. Not a good guy. And it's a shame because I kind of liked him, but you find these things out about him and find out he's nothing more than just, toeing the line. Toeing the line is all he is. And you know what? But shout out to him anyway, man. I mean, but look, people turn. He's one of them. But it isn't going to age well for him, and it already isn't. And shame on him. I think his phrase is, sad, huh? Robinhood considers listing crypto futures in U.S. and Europe. I say bring it, Robinhood. That isn't all. One of the people from Robinhood has been cited as a person who could be the next SEC chairman to replace Gary Gensler. And I say, listen, that guy might be a good choice, but you know who would be even better? Let's all let Donald Trump know about Chris Giancarlo. That's right. The Honorable Chris Giancarlo, former CFTC chairman, would make an incredible SEC chairman, and he would get this log jam opened up in about 3 seconds. No question about it. Van Eck and 21 shares have filed for spot Solana ETF. Say it isn't so. The ETH VCs have moved over to Solana, and they've all decided that we're going to pump Solana next. And here comes the filing for the Solana ETF. Remember, little known fact, actually pretty well known fact, on both accounts that I'm about to share. One, Solana Network goes down a lot. Two, Solana Network goes down more than my ex-girlfriend. This is not a kid's show. I'm also available for retirement parties and birthdays, so just keep that in mind as you're going throughout your day. Bahamas, the first... I have got a case of the sillies. The Bahamas, the country to issue central bank. I'm going to start laughing and won't be able to stop. My God. CBDC called the sand dollar is preparing regulations to mandate commercial banks to provide access to the e-money to boost adoption. You know what? Bring it on. Bahamas, obviously a hot spot for the world. It made sense that they came out with their central bank digital currency first because it is an international hotspot, and to see how the sand dollar was doing, right? So, look, there's going to be tons of CBDCs, and I was just having a conversation this morning with someone, and I was explaining that I believe the real price action that I've been here for, the 3, 4, 5-digit prices that I believe XRP can reach, they're never going to reach that in my mind unless we have CBDCs and stable coins at scale. And I don't mean just dollar stable coins. I mean stock stable coins. I mean bond stable coins. I mean gold stable coins, oil stable coins. You get it. When we have all of those vehicles, which are tokenized vehicles to move value, then I believe you can start to see the real benefits of XRP in a monetary system in its full intended use. Because at that point, it's as Monica Long said, it's the long tail play for XRP, not the short side. It's the long tail play. It's the many, many different possible trades and markets that XRP can make on the long tail once the markets are fully flipped and digitized and tokenized. Once that happens, obviously XRP has a privileged position according to David Schwartz, and it will always get looked at as to whether it could be the best source of trade for that particular moment. Now, if it isn't, don't use it. That's the best way to handle that. But when the more tokenization you bring into the world and tie into the XRP ledger, which is also a decentralized exchange for the world, then the more markets and more pairs you're going to find that XRP can begin to make. And as that happens, the liquidity of the network begins to increase dramatically. And I think all of these things happen exponentially too, by the way, right? And obviously then over time, you're going to see that long tail become a very meaningful reflection in price and utility as it builds. That's the way I see it. Like it or not, we'll see what unfolds, but I believe that is the way it's going. However, let's look at this. Mantra, institutional grade layer 1 blockchain platform for tokenized real world assets, as I just discussed, has partnered with MAG, a leading UAE real estate developer. The collaboration will see the tokenization of $500 million worth of MAG's real estate assets. Whoa! Go UAE. But this is exactly what I just got done explaining to you guys. The platform doesn't matter. It's the making the market part that matters. The XRP ledger is a decentralized exchange for the world. If this Mantra platform and MAG decide to plug into the real world or the decentralized exchange of the world with their RWAs, real world assets, well, you're going to see the ability of that long tail play for XRP to play a role in that as the market and the world develops. It's where we're going. Then look at this, how small the world really is. Smoke Dog's done it again. Yes, JP Morgan is connected to on-demand liquidity. JP Morgan being one of the largest gatekeepers of the current financial system and cross-border world, accounts for more than half of all of SWIFT ISO 20022 transactions globally, and had a presentation highlighting Ripple with market makers. As you can see, showing the numbers there, and then here showing Ripple in the mix with JP Morgan's document. Go smoke dog. This is where we're going, ladies and gentlemen. And this was a remarkable little clip here that I found. And this is Subjective Views. And if you're not following Subjective Views, my God, what are you waiting for? Give them a follow. Peter Kirsten's advisor for financial sector digitalization and cybersecurity to the European Commission recalls his first encounter with Bitcoin, which was in the basement of the New York Fed. The New York Fed mining Bitcoin. Come on in. Take a listen.
House. And I'll now give you an anecdote. The very, very, very first meeting I had about blockchain was in the Financial Stability Board's Financial Innovation Network. And it was a meeting in the New York Fed in the basement of the New York Fed, a very austere building. And on the one side of the room, there were central bankers, looking like central bankers look. And you can make your own picture as to what a central banker looks like. There's a few, or there's at least one in the room, and he doesn't look anything like a central banker. But they looked very much the piece. And on the other side, there were hoodie-wearing geniuses, lunatics, libertarians, blockchain folk.
Libertarians are lunatics, said the official of the European Commission.
I'm not saying that the libertarians were lunatics. I said there were lunatics and libertarians. And they sort of said, well, we're developing this blockchain and Bitcoin and what have you, and this is the demonstration that there is absolutely no need for central banks. This is the end of central banking, which I thought was quite an entertaining and interesting position to put forward, especially at the New York Fed, in a room full of central bankers. Clearly, the central bankers had no idea what these people were talking about. And clearly, these hoodie-wearing libertarians and lunatics had no idea what central banks did and why central banks are important. And if we didn't have central banks now, I'm sure that they will end up being created to control the risk. In the same way, will DLT be important for competitiveness? If we didn't have financial market infrastructure now, imagine Jens walks into this office tomorrow and there's nothing there. An empty building, no computers, no nothing. And Jens's boss, assuming he has a boss, tells him, you have to build infrastructure. I am absolutely convinced that DLT will be a much bigger part of the technology stack Jens will use than he currently does. Because, of course, now they're sitting on huge amounts of legacy infrastructure, which is working okay, so you're not going to throw it overboard. But if you have to start from a clean slate, I'm convinced that DLT would be a much, much bigger part of the technology stack.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it. That's the importance, not to mention the fact that we find out New York Fed been mining Bitcoin in the basement of the Fed. What? Let's talk about this, because you're going to love this right here. Vertoon, ladies and gentlemen, and you might want to start following them. They announced that Vertoon XRP exchange-traded product, ETP, listed on NASDAQ Stockholm. This ETP enables investors in the Nordics to access XRP through 100% physically backed exchange-traded product that can be held in an ISK, capital insurance, or custody account. Now, take a look at this. 21 shares Ripple XRP ETP. It says known as AXRP. The largest XRP ETP with 3.7 million units outstanding here. And then you go down and you look at this, you see securities outstanding, 3.730 million. And then it shows down here, you see ETC Group, ETP, GXRP, 258,900 units outstanding. The Vertoon XRP ETP has 4 times the amount in circulation. with 14 XRP per ETP. So that's what we're looking at here. Look, imagine, I'm showing you this to show you, imagine when we get a BlackRock XRP ETF. This is what I was saying about the demand to lock up for spot ETFs, where it's a physically backed ETF or ETP, and they have to physically back it with the asset. This will force them to buy it off the market and put it in a qualified custodian. But at the same time, people are buying XRP so they can put it in automated market makers. And by the way, if you've not joined the DPMG and you're interested in learning how to use XRP Ledger automated market makers, you're going to want to join the DPMG, because we've already started down that road, and we have a new thing we're going to cover tonight in the DPMG on how to exactly use the automated market makers on the XRP Ledger. You do not want to miss what could become the holy grail if it develops properly. The holy grail being that you could put your assets in something and never have to sell them. So it's pretty remarkable when you think of it, right? So this, along with the ETPs, ETFs, automated market makers, create a huge demand to lock up the asset at the same time that we're about to get legislation that gives us clarity that we've been waiting for since day one. And when we get the clarity for the financial system to begin using the asset inside of their financial system, then you're going to have a demand from the other side of market makers and market participants who need to use XRP every day for payments at scale. So now you have one side locking it up to back these funds and automated market maker liquidity pools. And then you have the other side where people need to buy this because they're going to need it every day for their business for the rest of time. This is a moment we're all looking towards. No question about it. I can't wait. Then looking at a chart like this, X breaks the rising trend and moves down slightly, briefly staying below the positive cloud band of the Ichimoku cloud. What happens next will be more than you can imagine. And this is what we're looking at here. So shout out to XRP are resurrected Peru. Yeah. So shout out to them for this chart. As you're looking at it, you can see this is where we are in the white right here. He took the 2017, 2018 fractal and put that up to see where we may be going. We don't know, but signals are there and suggest that we could see that huge pop, and then a retracement, and then back down into 2025. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but a lot of these charts and analysts are seeing much the same thing. Not financial advice to me or anyone else. We're going into the freedom zone. And listen, I want to tell you guys, it's very real. Every Wednesday night, we have a private call in the Digital Perspective Mastermind group. And we are opening the window for memberships, but we will be closing them again very soon. Believe me, because we've had them closed for almost a year. This is the learning curve you've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, because we can't keep up with everything in the market, and the markets are collapsing around us. Get the tools you need. Investor checklists, portfolio creation, groups and courses. Learn how to use automated market makers on the XRP Ledger. Yes. And we also have a private weekly call that we have every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. and a support from a community of the most brilliant minds that I have ever come across. There's no question about it. And this is an opportunity that you will not want to miss, ladies and gentlemen. And all you have to do is go to digperspectives.com and click the DPMG and come on in. We're going to get started right now. And if you join the DPMG, by the way, you'll get the Freedom Zone for free. Let's get started. Here we go.